Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 2024 NASA Space Apps Bootcamp. This is Mohammed Fahmi, co-lead for NASA Space Apps in Dubai, El Ain, Sharjah, and Muscat. And I'm thrilled to have all of you here with us today. Today's sessions are designed to equip you with the skills you will need for the challenge. We will start with first session with a few steps to generate great ideas by engineer Muhammad Am, PMO at Global Innovation and Entrepreneurship Company. Then we have a second session, intro to game design by engineer Muhammad Salama, senior partner at Unity. The third session and the last one, we will have CAD modeling to 3D printing by engineer Abu Bakr, co-founder of Tayar. Uh, Please remember to register for the hackathon by the 2nd October, by tomorrow. We eager to see your idea come to life, so don't miss the chance to participate. Thank you and enjoy the bootcamp.
Okay, so welcome everyone. So it's better to speak in English or it's in Arabic, which is better for you?
English.
English, okay. So one moment and I will share my screen.
Hi, Korea.
Okay, so I think everyone can now see my screen, right?
Yes.
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 Okay, thank you. So we will start today's session by the discussion about the ideation. A small intro about myself, as I'm working now as a project management office manager for a GIE company, and I've been working in several innovation and entrepreneurship positions in different in Egypt and different countries. So let's start our session and make it interactive by the discussion about the ideation. So please all scan the QR code here or try to access Mentimeter through this code and tell us what do you know about the ideation. Come on, and the responses will be reflected on the screen immediately. Okay, we started with one, developing ideas. What else? Forming ideas from starting to the end, an idea or specific concept. Creating solutions or organizations, thoughts, organizing thoughts. That's good. Come on, there must be more. You have only 5 responses. Uh, Let me remove this. It is the formation and how we plan about our projects and ideas. Nice one. Making ideas to reality. It's a way of collecting ideas that you create and implementing in yourself. I'm sorry. Okay, the spark of creativity, creative process generation. Okay, that's good. That's good. You all got it, but there is one missing point, and this is the core of our session today. So, to
Using
define it
ideas
more,
in space and reality.
okay, thank you. So, to define it more, let's have another question. Is ideation a formal process? Yes, no, or you don't know?
Yes.
Okay, just answer the question on Mentimeter. Okay, great. Oh, sorry. Okay, it's yes, three no, one I don't know. Okay, so let me answer it. It's a formal process and it's a part of a formal process. So ideation in itself is not only a process, it's part of a formal process that called design thinking. So what is design thinking and what is the relation between design thinking, ideation, and creating creative projects? In simply, it's the definition for the design thinking and the ideation is the innovation and the mindset. Because when you think about a certain idea to be useful for people and to be a rigid process and a rigid product for different users, it must be human centric or a human centered approach. So, if what is the meaning of human centric? Can anyone answer this question? What is the human centric approach?
Can I?
Yeah, sure.
I think it's a approach like when humans they come together to make something happen.
Can I answer?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Thank you for the
Uh,
first answer.
it's it's when human-centered design is an approach like to problem solving commonly, and it's used in process or project service and system designs.
Sir, can I answer, please?
Okay, sure. Yes.
Human-centered design is an approach to problem solving commonly used in process, product, service, and system design.
Okay, but what does it mean when we can define that the design is human centric?
Basically,
The solution is human centric.
it's an approach to problem solving.
Yeah. Okay, this is the approach, and this is what we are saying. But how we can define it? How we can, when we see a different solution for a problem, when can you tell that it's good human-centered design or human-centered approach?
Sir, can I answer?
Yes, please.
As it's like about seeing people's other considerations and then making a new idea.
Okay,
You're transferring their ideas, transforming them.
okay, okay. So this is good. Thank you for your participation. This is good. This is really good. So actually, to have a human-centered design, we need to have three main characteristics or parameters in the design. First is the desirability. You need to check that what you are designing is really desirable. Okay. Second is the feasibility. Are you designing something that is feasible from the technology side? Can we develop this or not? Then the viability. Does it have the requirements for success? So if you have these three things in your design, this means that you are applying the human-centered approach. Okay? As an example, we are talking about simple things. As you can see, the design of the baby's products or the baby's clothes, at this age, the babies cannot see the colors. Okay? However, the manufacturer decided to bring both of these in blue color. Why is that? What's the sorry, two different colors? Why is that? Can anyone tell me what is the difference between the
Second
pink color
answer,
and the blue color?
Nice answer.
because there's a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
It
So
is for
directly,
gender equality, gender
okay.
differentiation.
It tells about the genders. So
To differentiate between the genders.
yeah,
Okay.
because it
So
will have
directly, we can tell who is the boy and who is the girl without having someone to say it. Okay. So in that regards, we can tell that the blue one is the boy, the pink one is the girl. Okay. This is why we have to have a human centered design. Okay. Because it's appealing for the others, the mother, the father, the one who decides the buying decision, or the one who owns the buying decision. Okay. So this is the importance of the ideation or the design thinking. It's important to have the human centered approach, or to think for the users, the customers who are going to use our products. Okay. So the first step is to define and emphasize the emotions, the thoughts, the pain points, the opportunities. So you need to define what are the emotions of the users and the customers who are going to use your product or your idea. In simple terms, you have to live in their shoes. So let's start trying to do this together based on the current challenge. So our first question for you is that we want you to list the challenges and what is the pain behind each one. What is the problem that we are trying to solve, and how you define it from your perspective. Okay, chronological exploration, the statistics of an exoplanet from vast amount of data. Okay, sustainable human space flight. Great, climate and gender, the exploration of the endless universe, life on Mars. Okay, see all the problems that are listed has a huge problem, which is minimizing the cost of the project. Okay, life on Mars. So let's apply this on simple terms on this answer. So life on Mars, why this is a challenge and what is the pain behind it? Yes, please go ahead.
it's a challenge to live on Mars because there's no water on Mars, so we're trying to find water because without water there's no food and we can't drink water. So life on Mars is not possible if we don't find a water body.
The most difficultest thing would be that there is no oxygen. Because the plants can't grow there.
Because of
The
water.
atmosphere,
Because
the
there's no water.
atmosphere is very thin. Can't protect anything from the radiation from the sun.
Okay,
If
so
you make a dome, we have to cover the dome with a strong layer of shield, or else the Mars dust radiation will go inside and affect your body.
in other words, there is an opportunity that we increase the landscape that we are living on, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, this is what we were talking about, the opportunities here. So we are going to Mars just to increase our opportunities to have a best or a better place, or at least a place like what we are living in. Okay, so again, let's dig deep to that. What are the challenges? You mentioned a number of that. What are the
Yes,
challenges?
and
Okay,
also
yeah.
the surface on Mars doesn't seem like the sort of place hospitable to life. It is dry and cold, as far as negative 220 degrees Celsius.
Okay, thank you. And just to show you more what we can do to live on Mars, we need transportation solutions, right?
Yes, we need
Yes,
Yes.
We,
yes,
we definitely need transportation from Earth to Mars with something economical, right? And of course, it will be environmental friendly, right?
yes.
But then, how can we go that far?
Yeah, we
planes
have a
cannot
lot of
go because
challenges.
planes
Because
don't have.
the thing is, they're planning to make something to go to the moon, but then the Mars
Yeah,
distance is
Mars is
double of the moon. So how will
yeah,
we go
Mars
there?
is
It's not
double of
only
the
that,
moon.
you also have to worry about how many people that are traveling with you.
No,
Okay,
I
so
think this is going to
They
be
have
like
to
so
worry.
let
worry.
me
Even if they manage to
so
make
let
a
me
rocket.
interfere here. Let me interfere here. Okay, when we discuss, we take the process as simple steps. We said in this slide that we are in the empathize phase. We are not now giving a solution. We are just discussing the opportunities, brainstorming about what we have, listing the challenges, and then we will address each one separately. So it's important in the process is that you do not jump ahead. Okay, so you need to define where are you. You need to understand where are you. We are in the phase of empathizing. So we just talking about thoughts. We'll just be talking about opportunities. We'll just be talking about the challenges that we can address. Okay, again, and we need to maintain these. So why it's desirable to live on Mars? We answered this question. For the feasibility, yes, we have now the technologies, but it can be challenging because the distance and the viability of the success, the requirements for success. This is why we are looking for the water in Mars. If there is water, there is hope for that. This is why we are discussing this. Okay, let's try this
Okay.
on another one. Let's see long duration space flight, health risk, radiation, exposure, physiological challenges. Wow, we have some deep challenges. Okay, deep space exploration. So, can we elaborate more on that?
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
So,
Like deep space, the pain behind this is that space is endless. So like we have a limit of fuel, and then plus if we go far, we also have a limited amount of food and water. Plus like every planet has a certain distance, so it takes a lot of light years.
And also,
like
So,
the
can I
voyage,
also add on to that?
like
Sure, please add. But
Yeah,
just to keep things in order, please, if you want to participate, just raise your hand and we will have all the time to discuss. Okay?
yeah.
Thank you.
Um,
Please do
uh,
start.
it is hard for deep space exploration because space travel requires many precise calculations of spacecraft trajectory and fuel usage too.
O-
Also,
Okay,
for deep space exploration, we need just more than just a rocket. We need like fuel. We need water, food, and everything for life. And plus, space is also very dangerous. Like the radiation can come from any star, like Alpha Centauri. So you have to be very careful about that.
great. So let me ask you a question here. Why we need deep space exploration?
Sir, can I answer, please?
Yes, sure.
We
So
need
could you
deep
please
space
repeat the question?
exploration to find out more about the universe, and it will also help scientists figure out how dangerous it could be for our Earth.
Okay, and what good can come from
Sir,
that?
could I answer?
Can I answer?
Yes,
It could be
please.
that we could.
So basically, we get good from that, that we get more information about the other planets which are beyond Earth.
Sir, can I
Okay.
like Sir, may
There
I
are
answer?
a lot of hands raised. Let me take them in sequence. So, Harishta Kitari.
Harshit.
Arshit Kelly.
I think
You're raising.
we need deep space exploration because
Okay, if you don't want to participate,
no,
Afshin Ayat.
no, I was going to say. So I
Okay,
think we
okay,
need deep space exploration because we gain a new perspective to study the Earth and the solar system.
great. So, this can give us more opportunities and it can give us more possibilities about the future of our planet, right?
Sir, can I?
May
Okay,
I?
I will just take few moments and the people in sequence. Okay, so for Afshinayat,
Yes. I
yes,
think we need deep space exploration because we can get many scientific discoveries, and we can. What if we can also find other life beyond Earth, like astrobiology, and we can also find some resource utilization. For example, we can find water on moon or asteroids, or potentially use in future missions, and we can also uh, you find the origins of this universe and formation of celestial bodies, which can help us in many different ways.
great, great, thank you. So it's not wasting of money or wasting of time, but it's just investing in other opportunities, and this is why we understand why we all participate in challenges like this, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So let's take another one. Mars rovers, SDGs in the classroom. The pain behind it is that in classes, children are not following SDGs because they are not aware about it. But is this a challenge from NASA? I think we need to think about it again. Make it
So
possible
it's
for life on Mars. I think
Sir,
Mars
it is
is
a challenge from NASA. SDGs in the classroom.
in the classroom. Great. How you can address this and why is this a challenge from NASA?
It could be a
This is,
challenge.
yeah, sure, please.
It's a challenge from NASA because we need to spread awareness to children how to solve this crisis and also to achieve global goals. We need
Okay.
to motivate the children and engage them
Why we need that?
to let them understand SDGs and climate change as well. It's not only us who can do it.
Okay, so let me help you with that. We need children to be more educated and to learn more about the SDGs because you are the future, because the children are our future.
Yes.
Okay, so if you are well educated and you know how much this will harm us all, you will find solutions in the future for that, right?
Yes.
Excuse me,
Yes.
sir.
Sure.
Is this session 4 hours or 1 hour? How long is it?
Okay, we today we have only two sessions, as I think, and for me it will be 1.5 hour maximum.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, and again, let's choose one final answer. Infrastructure, workforce, technological development. Okay, I think we need to understand this more. So, the one who wrote this answer can help us. Infrastructure, workforce, technological development.
Sir,
Yes.
those are all points. So each of them has a separate word.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Each one of them is a separate challenge. So you are talking about infrastructure, workforce,
And technical.
technological development, right?
Yeah, all three of them.
Okay. They are three. Okay. So pick one and let us try to discuss.
I'll pick technological development.
Great. So what is the
Can I
pain in
add on?
technological development?
Can I see?
The pain behind it is because we've only been developing AIs like ChatGPT, but those don't know much about the future universe. So we maybe in the future we can use AI to help us delve further into space's secrets.
Can I add to
For
that?
example, like dark matter or um, dark energy. We don't know much about them.
Hello?
Okay, great. So Yazan, or who's
Yeah.
trying to speak? Yazan, right?
Yeah. So
Yes.
basically, chat we don't as Ian said, we've only made like the strongest thing in AI we made is like is ChatGPT, and I think at some point in the future we're gonna make something like way stronger that can like do way more things. So yeah.
Okay,
Can I give
so
examples of things we can make with that?
let me see. Afshin, yes,
Yeah,
please do.
we can make reusable rockets. Like companies like SpaceX developed reusable launch systems, significantly reducing costs, which is better for more space flights.
Okay, that's great.
We need a lot
And
of investment
And
for
in the future,
technological development.
I'm sorry, who's
people,
talking?
me.
Ian, sir. We need a lot
Gen
of
Z.
investment for technological development because it's really hard to develop and we need a lot of brains working for it.
Sir, can I say
Okay,
it?
so that's good. Let's scan
Sir, can
the
I say
other. Yes, who's
it?
talking?
Me, Chanbir.
Gen Z. Yeah, please.
So, in the future, there might be cars and airplanes that move, but we
I'm
don't
sorry, can
actually.
you raise your voice a little bit?
So, in the future, there even might be planes for transport, that if you want to go from one country to another, the plane is so quiet and is not shaky that we can not even hear the vibration like now.
I was struggling to hear you. I'm sorry. Try to speak louder.
So now it's like there's no, the planes are not that good, like they're not that futuristic, but in the future it can be more futuristic, like they can have autopilot. So if the pilot sleeps, then there's like a auto detect camera thing, and then the plane starts flying itself.
Autopilot
Okay.
already exists.
Not in our real planes.
We
That's the
can
other.
come to that. we can discuss this, and we will speak about how to define whether something exists or not, and if it exists, is it sufficient or not. We will come to that. Don't worry. Okay, so just to recap and to stay on track, what we discussed first was about, can anyone remember and tell me?
Can I say?
Yeah, sure.
Ideation.
We discussed about life on Mars. What are the struggles of NASA and pain behind each challenge?
Okay, but we discussed something first about the
We
ideation,
discussed
and we said
ideation.
what? Yeah, what was ideation about?
Ideation is about taking other ideas and transforming them into one from that you made.
Okay, and there are three characteristics about the solution that we are suggesting or developing.
Yeah.
We learned
What
human
were they?
approach.
There were desirability,
Human
feasibility, and your technology.
Yeah, so these three are developing the human centered approach, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Excuse me,
that's
sir.
good.
I have a question. What's
Sure.
geomagnetic storms?
What?
What is geomagnetic storms? Geomagnetic storms.
geomagnetic storms are like they can shut down the power grid. So like it affects, but a magnetic field can take care of most of them, but sometimes some of them slip through and disrupt our communication.
Okay, let's go further and let's learn how to define these things. Okay, so to recap, this is the process, right? We discussed it's a five-stage process, and we discussed the empathize, right? Now we are going to the second one, okay, which is the define process, the define stage. So for each mentioned pain, please take 5 minutes and start writing each block for that. So, or I think it's better that I can take you per each topic, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, sure. So what we have here is a canvas, which is a template that we use to define the problem properly and to understand what is the problem that we are solving. Okay. So first, we start with the context. What does the context mean?
The
In
context,
this,
like when does the problem occur, or like what is the problem basically?
yes, but in other words, we discuss here the pain behind the problem. When does the problem occur? We mean it by time, we mean it by the place, we mean it in every single meaning you have. Okay.
So is this for a particular topic, sir?
What?
Is this for a particular topic?
No, it's in general. So when this is what we did earlier when we discussed about the life on Mars. When does the problem, when we discussing the challenge of living on Mars, what is the challenge there? So you will find yourself discussing either the transportation or the problem of distance, or you will discuss the problem of water scarcity on Mars. So living on Mars has different challenges. This is why this is useful. It will take you through a process or certain steps that will help you to define a problem, an exact problem to solve. Okay? So let's start with the context. I will give you just 2 minutes, then I will take answers from you, okay, about the challenges mentioned earlier. Fair enough?
What do we have to do in 2 minutes?
Just tell me, choose one challenge and tell me when does this problem or challenge occurs.
Should we do like all of this?
We will do, you mean the whole template?
On one problem, right?
Yeah, only one problem.
Okay.
Sir,
So
where
I
do
will
we like
start.
choose one and answer it? Where do we choose one and answer it?
What again?
Where do we choose one and answer it?
You will choose one of the challenge that mentioned earlier
Yeah.
here, okay, and start answering this question. What is the context and when does the problem or the challenge happens?
Yeah, so like where do we answer? On a paper or like
Yeah,
where?
on the paper. Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
More than one. So who is ready to share his thoughts?
Yeah, me, sir.
Ian, okay.
In context of climate change, problems occur at different stages, like increased greenhouse gas emissions, global temperature rise, extreme weather events, melting polar ice and rising sea levels, biodiversity loss, or human health issues, etc.
Okay, so you are listing different problems. You just need to pick one of them so that you can answer the next box. So
I
be clear and precise more, okay?
Okay, sir.
Can I
I
answer?
greenhouse gas emissions.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, the second one, Omar. Omar, please open the
Sorry,
mic.
sir, I'm not. Sorry, sir, I'm not ready. My
Okay,
hand was open before. I'm just finishing my sentence.
okay, take your time.
Can I
So
say?
Nadia.
What can I say?
So like the environmental pollution and neglecting of people to it, it like causes climate change, and that like it
Global
pushes us to look
warming.
for
Global
another.
warming.
So like it
Global
pushes us
warming.
to look for another planet to live in, and that's really hard since none of the planets offer the same as Earth, and Mars is one of the top planets that we are currently looking at since it has some of the needs that we need for living, but it hasn't covered all categories, which is why we need to keep looking for other planets.
Okay,
Can I
Can
answer?
I add on to Nadia?
sure.
So like yeah, I agree. The main cause of the problem is global warming, and that's why we're looking for another planet. Because without global warm, like if global warming was not there, all these problems like we are looking for Mars. Also, like a mission uh, thing went from India to the moon. They are checking for frozen water in the North Pole of the moon.
Okay. Okay. So
Sir,
let's move
May
excuse me,
I
to
sir.
the
answer?
second. Okay, we will answer all, but let's move to the second box, which is the problem. What is the root cause of the problem that you are discussing?
Sir, do we have to write all of these questions?
Yes, we will be answering all these questions.
Sir, what's it called? I have a context and I have the problem for it because you see what they're talking about is only greenhouse emissions, but what they're not talking about is the biological and what this climate change can do to our biological body. So this climate change, the like the greenhouse emissions, instead of just affecting the earth, it also affects us. It affects some hormones in the body and it affects us as humans, which will create the next generation to be weaker and they won't like it's going to get to a point where they're not going to be human. The root cause of this problem is because of the increase in factories and the increase of greenhouse emissions. Greenhouse gas emissions, and also the main thing is methane. Methane is one of the worst gases that could be inhaled by air, as it's one of the as the atomic structure also has some CO2, carbon dioxide. This carbon
Okay,
dioxide will,
so let me interrupt you here to ask a question. When do we have this gas? When it is emissioned?
this gas is produced from too much of excessive driving. The methane is the burnt off petrol, and also in some factories of synthetic plastic making, we also use a lot of
Okay,
carbon footprint, and
okay,
that creates methane.
so okay, stay with me. So what you mentioned now is the context. This is when we have the gas that causes the problem. Okay, and the root cause of this problem is, why do we have this gas? Why it's important and why we
Because
still
of
have it?
excessive driving
Okay,
and
and
the increase of factories.
okay, so it has economic importance, right?
Yes, it does.
greenhouse gases.
Okay, so in that context, we have the gases and we have the problem, which is the cause, the root cause. Then, are there alternatives? This is the third box. Are there alternatives? Rashid? Rashid, are you with me?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
we have a lot of alternatives to methane. We have different types of energy that we can use instead of those. We have green hydrogen, heat pumps, wind, solar energy, hydro energy, and stuff like that.
Okay, why we're not using them now? Which is
Because
the answer for
these,
the
because
shortcomings?
sir, listen. Now, what the companies are looking for, these big companies, is to create a large product with a lot of demand, but with cheaper and stuff that doesn't cost much. As solar energy, wind energy, hydro energy is costs more than just methane and petrol because those are easy to find than using wind energy. As sometimes there might not be wind, sometimes it's a cloudy day, so solar energy might not be there. But at the end of the day, it's a better alternative to use those. Even if some days you don't have a good working factory, it's better to save the earth than to ruin it just so you can live with a lot of money.
Okay, we all do agree, but now we are talking in the actions. So why do they not
Sir, can
use?
I answer?
Yes, Sheikha, sure.
Rayon.
Ayun, I'm sorry. Okay.
The root of climate change lies in human activities that increases the level of the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere.
Okay. Okay. So I tried to walk you all, thank you, through an example. So as you can see, we started here with the context, why we have this gas, and then the root cause behind having this gas, because it has economic value and we cannot treat it with the environmental value.
Sir, can I go
However,
to the
we have
washroom, please?
alternatives. What?
Sir, can I go to the washroom, please?
Sure, sure. And the alternatives, this is the third one. We have different alternatives which were mentioned. but the alternatives had shortcomings. So this is why we are not totally using them. For the customers, we mentioned two customers: the factories, the industrial part, and the car owners. Okay. And finally, the impact. We all know the impact. It's harming ourselves and it's harming on a quantifiable impact. We can see how disastrous it can be in the terms of diseases and general health, right? So this can provide you with a tool that helps all of you to address a real challenge and something that you can answer and you can solve. Again, because we are going to a break for 5 minutes, this stage is the define stage. We only here discussing the how the problem is and to define the problem context. Okay, so we only took two stages: the empathize and the define stage. After the break, we will discuss the ideation, the prototype, and the test. Okay. So, any questions before we are going to break?
Sir? No.
Sure.
Sir?
No.
Afshin first.
Yeah. I have like one more context. Can I share it with you?
Sure. But can we make it after the session?
Oh,
So
okay.
just to keep the time frame, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, can I go to
So,
the washroom?
Chad? Yeah, sure.
Excuse me,
Ahmed?
sir.
Okay,
Is there a
Nermeen?
hotline to contact with?
What?
Is there a hotline to contact with?
There is no hotline, but you can send through the challenge communication channels, and they will send you. They will give me. They will give you the information, and they will send your questions to me.
So did the break start?
And I will try to share my contact information by the end. Okay.
Sir, did the break
So,
start?
Shamvir, I can't hear you.
Did the break start the break?
Yeah, we'll start the break after I answered the rest questions. So, Shahid, the last one. If you don't have questions and if there are no more questions, I think we are going to break. Okay, I think we are all good. So we'll have 5 minutes break, or let's make it 10 minutes break. Okay.
Come back at 5:15.
Yeah.
Sir, so what do we do? Do we leave the call or do we sit in here?
You just close the mic and we will start after 5:15.
50 or 15?
15.
Okay, sir.
50.
0?
Okay, thank you all.
1515.
Okay, thanks.
515.
Thank you.
So can we have break now?
Yes, we are in the break. Yes.
When will the entire session be over?
Within 1 hour.
8:10.
Okay.
Oh my.
Who's on Discord?
Huh?
Who's on Discord?
Omar, shut up. Omar, shush.
Bo, someone's using this.
Who is on Discord? I'm playing Shawarma Legends.
Omar, calm down.
Stop it. Why you leave? Shut up.
Okay, so welcome all again. We'll start our session again with recapping what we have discussed. We only discussed two parts of the design thinking process. These were the empathize phase or stage and the define phase. The importance of the empathize phase is to know and to understand the context of the problem and to live in the other's shoes. For the context of the problem and to define which is whether it's a problem or not, we are addressing um, the define phase. Then, and let me start by sharing my screen. One minute. Comes with the important context, which is the ideation. It's the third part of the third stage, and it's very important. And to show you what we mean by the ideation and how we can reflect on that, let me show you this video. Okay, I will open. Can you see the video?
No, share not working.
Okay, let me try. Okay, I can't share with the sound, so I will share the video without sound. Okay, so let's start how we reinvented the shopping cart. So this is a challenge between uh, the ABC network and the IDEO company, which start to invent the design thinking approach. So they show you how they are going to reinvent or remodify the shopping cart, which is something simple. It does not have any complexity to redefine. However, they are talking about the simplicity. And as you can see, They have different innovations and different solutions for different problems. They are not concerned with a certain industry. Sorry with that for that. So this is their start with the emphasize. They are talking about the team and they are exploring the backgrounds. They are not all from the manufacturing or industrial backgrounds. They have medical school students, they have marketing experts, they have different backgrounds. So this process or this approach doesn't mean that you have to be an expert in something, okay? But it's a way of thinking that you need to adopt. So they were exploring different ideas and different discussions about the problem they are addressing and how these cards are used. Okay, then after they displayed or exchanged their thoughts, they started to go to the market, to the persons that are going to use their solution. So they went to the groceries, the supermarkets, and saw how people are going to use these shopping carts. As you can see, they have different and several users. Afterwards, they started to use their ideas and to list what are the problems that they are going to solve for each user. This was their second day. So they have certain approaches and they have certain values. So you have to discuss one idea with another. You have to stay focused in the discussion and you have to listen to each other. This is very important. This where the team's integration comes. So they analyze every and each thought. Afterwards, the experts, the leaders, starts to discuss each idea and start to filter them, which is feasible, which is not, how we can address this. So this is the importance of your mentors in the challenge. They will help you to filter your thoughts and ideas. Then here comes the visualization. When you start discussing the problem or the solution you are addressing, you have to use your visual aids. It's the prototyping, it's the design, it's the modeling. So you can now see the solutions. So this one starts using the barcodes to define the prices. It's part of the cart. This one will develop a microphone or a way to communicate with the cashier and the owners of the management of the supermarkets. These are all prototypes, and these are all ideas. And here comes the judging. As you can see, they still discussing one idea per another, and this is the final product. This is the final solution. It has all the ideas that they discussed. You can see it has small baskets for small areas. It has a device that keeps you informed about the prices of the products. You can see these. And here are the owners. They say their opinions and they discuss the potentiality of the solutions. Okay, let me stop the share and go back to our presentation. And let me hear your thoughts about the video. Okay, so who's raising his hand? Chifang? Chifang? So Amal Osman?
Yeah, I can. You muted
Okay.
me, that's why. So
No.
I think this video which we saw, it gives us like a potential summary about teamwork. Like they included all the ideas. Like one idea had a microphone, the other one had a barcode scanner, the third one had more compartments. When they combined all of it, they created a nice shopping cart. So like also when we are making something, we need communication and possibility.
Yes, so in other words, this what we are going to do in the next couple of days in the challenge, in the NSS apps challenge, right? Okay, for Amal Osman.
Okay, so what I saw from the video is that they all combined their ideas and showcased them, and they basically combined it all together to make a shopping cart, which they all liked it, and they all had a contribution to it.
Great. Yes, and this what is the importance of the team in the challenge. So this is the main important thing and aspect about the challenge. You need to form the team. Okay, you need to address a certain team. You are not, and it's not good to participate individually. So we need you all to participate in teams. And the current sessions is very important and it's very useful tools to get introduced to each other and select your team. So thank you, Chanvir. Chanvir, if not ready, let's take Omar.
Sir, yeah, you need to
Yes.
wait. So, I learned in the video that they all did teamwork and they all were sharing ideas that we can use baskets to make other cartons, and we can use the electric telephone to communicate with the cashier, so we can pay the bill from electric the electric the electric thing that tells us how what we put in our shopping cart. Like if we put eggs, we have to scan the eggs and then we put inside.
So what you're saying basically is that they were using existing technological solutions. They have
Yeah.
the baskets are there, and the wires, the QR code or the barcode scanner, it's there, and just they collected them in one solution with the way that humans can use, right?
Yeah.
So this is the human centric approach. This is what we are talking about. Okay.
Mm.
So thank you. And Omar?
So I had a couple of questions about the project that we're making.
Sure.
So on October 6th, we're gonna present our project.
Yeah.
Um Another question is, you said at the start of the call something about our project. Actually, never mind. Tomorrow in the session, are we gonna be doing something about our project, or will we still have time till October
Okay.
6th to be making it?
Okay. These are more of organizing questions. So we will answer these questions by the end of the day. I think Engineer Muhammad Fahmi, he is the one who is going to address all of your questions regarding that. So let's keep focused the questions and the thoughts now about the current session. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Nadia? Nadia? Okay. If yes.
So, like what I saw in the video, that you can't have one idea to make your project. You have to combine different ideas since that will help you. So, in the beginning, they had a simple card, which wasn't actually that productive as the last one. They asked all their clients to produce their own ideas. Then they combined it in a productive way. So they used like the barcode scanner to help them read the price. They used the like the telephone to connect with cashiers for other questions in case no one is around to help. And they use like different carts, like different shopping baskets, so it would help divide what they're gonna be shopping for, and it gives them more space. So they put the carts on top and the bottom to give them more space to put their shopping in. And the fact that they put like the children's space, so they have to like they have to walk beside the parents or something, that's really productive. So in our project, what this leads to is that you have to combine different ideas. In your challenge, you have to search for the purposes and the problems to create a solution, and don't just focus on one idea. You have to look for different ideas and solutions.
Okay. So let me summarize what you have said, and let's agree or disagree about what I'm going to say. So what you're actually saying that uh, every problem can be addressed from different angle. So we have different solutions for the same problem, and to do that we need to validate this with the customer or the user, the one who is going to use our solution, and to listen and collect what is painful and what is not for them, right? Is that what you were saying, right? Okay, so let's go for uh, Muhammad and then Yazan. Afterwards, we will proceed with our session, and if you have another question, we will take it at the end of the session. So,
So
Muhammad Mubshir.
yeah, and so in this video, I saw them. They went in a step-by-step process. First, they did empathize. First, they gathered up some ideas, found out what the problem was. Then, they were all thinking of ideas in their own opinion, and then they gave it to the senior leaders, which then did ideate, and they combined it all to make it into a simpler version. Then they made the prototype, combine all of their ideas and use it in like real, and then they tested it with a few artificial things to see if it's good or not, if it's good to go. Hello? Sir, can you hear me? Sir, I cannot hear you.
Yes, Engineer Muhammad Amr have an internet issue. He will join once again.
Okay.
Hi. Okay. I'm sorry. There has been a problem, technical problem. Sorry for that. Okay. So I heard you, Muhammad. I heard all your thoughts and notes. I was going to comment on them, but I had this difficulty. So yes, I do agree with you. They went each step another, and they have been doing a great job regarding that. And as you can see, in each step, they were going back and forth. It's an organized effort, organized process. It's not a chaotic one. So we need to organize our thoughts in the hackathon, in the challenge to address this. So Yazan, our last but not least, then we will continue just to stick to the time. Yazan, Yazan, come on, we only have 5 or 4 minutes,
Hello,
and
can
then
you
we
hear me?
will have
Can
your
you hear me?
questions. Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yes,
Okay.
Yazan, yes, we hear you.
So, what I think, which was good, what they were doing is, they combined all their ideas, but the thing is, what was like not really professional is that they didn't take the time to think what would happen if they added like these stuff. Like for example, when they added the microphone to connect with the cashier, like maybe some people could like make jokes and start like laughing and like talk saying random inappropriate stuff in the cashier. So I don't think they kind of took the time to talk about this stuff. So I think they should have tried to do that.
Okay, so let me answer or comment on that. It's let's rephrase it. It's not an unprofessional, but it's important to say that each and every solution that you are going to come with will have an alternative, and it will has sorry a shortcoming or something that's missing. So this what gives competitiveness and other partners to join and have other opportunities. So if you can think of different solutions in the world, you will have competitors for them. As you can see, we have Facebook, but later on we had Twitter or X, and now we have Instagram. They are all social media, but each one based on its own. They all have media approaches. You can share videos, you can watch videos, and then you can share images, but each with a different solution. So this is why it's important in the definition phase is to define what are the shortcomings. And what they did in the video is that they, as an example, found that the cart cannot move between small aisles. So they created the baskets idea. Okay, this is what you get by defining the shortcoming of the alternatives. Okay, so this is important. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide and the next stage, which is first visualization. You need to visualize your ideas so it's better and we understand better the visuals. So either you can give it, make a model or a prototype or just design, and this is what they did in the start. Then in each and every phase, you need to have a test, a feedback, a survey. So you need to address others. You need to discuss with others what are your thoughts and are they good for them or not. And by others here, we mean the people, the users, the customers who are going to use your idea. Okay. Finally, finally, you learn and you start the process from the beginning. Okay. So you start modifying, editing, validating your idea. Okay. This is the process that we are discussing. So, first, you empathize, you define the problem, you start giving ideas, exploring ideas through brainstorming and other techniques. Finally, with a prototype, you start and you test this prototype or this idea. I think we came to an end. I will have your question. We have just 5 minutes questions, and I think we can conclude. So, who has questions? Ian. Oh, there are a lot of questions. Ian.
Sir, my first question is about the NASA Space Apps Challenge. Do we, like on the day of presentation, like on the 5th, do we showcase and leave, or do we just stay for the whole day?
Okay, this is regarding the challenge. I think um, after we have the questions about the current session, we can have the questions for the challenge. Okay. So,
Okay, sir.
who has questions for the who has question for the sessions? Nadia. For those don't for those who don't have any questions for the sessions, please lower your hand.
My question for the challenge is like in our prototype, we should include the problem we're solving and how we can solve it, or should we like just give a few examples of the cause of the problem?
Okay, again, this is a challenge question. Okay, so we will have it after the session questions. So whoever has a question regarding the session, please open your mic.
Um, I have a question that in the given picture, what do the arrows resemble?
I didn't get your question well. I didn't hear you.
I'm seeing that in the given picture,
The green
there are
picture.
like, yeah, there are arrows. No, in the old. It's a
Okay,
new.
you mean this one?
Yes, there are arrows. Arrows.
Okay.
So what do they resemble?
Okay, so the arrows just resembles the moving between different and the iterations between different stages. So it's, of course, when you have an empathy about something, you will have to create something visual to represent it. And when you have this, you will go back again to define what is the problem. So it's just an example about how you can move between different stages, but it's more important to know the objective and the goal from each stage.
Okay, thank you.
More than welcome. So, Haifa, Haifa, and Fatima. Afterwards, I will conclude.
Hello. Yes.
Yes,
أنا بس كنت أريد I just wanted to say that we would if you could leave us the material of the presentation anywhere, or if you can send it to us, that would be great.
sure. The whole
And
recording will be sent.
yeah, that would be great. And as
Okay.
well, if there is like previous year's winners, we would love to see what sort of ideas they presented, and how they how was their journey, what are the winning ideas basically. So this way we can improve our applications further.
Okay, I think Engineer Muhammad Fahmy can answer this question better than me. So I will leave him after the conclusion and we'll let him give you the answer.
All right. Thank you very much. That was
Okay.
it.
More, more than welcome. Fatima? Fatima?
Yes. So I have a question of how we present our work, because it's my first time here. So will we present it like in front of people from the front of the judges, or we just send it to them?
Okay. Again, I will let Engineer Muhammad answer this question. Uh, let's have the next one, Ryan and Mahra. If you just have a question about the challenge, I will conclude the session now and let you continue with Engineer Muhammad. Ryan, Mahra. So Mahra lowered her hand, and Ryan.
Yes, I wanted to ask about this presentation.
Okay, it will be shared with you. A whole recording about the session will be shared with you. Okay, Fatima.
Do we have to make a 3D model or not for our idea?
If you can, this would be good. I think Engineer Muhammad will elaborate more about the prototyping and the requirement of submission. Okay, so here I will conclude. Thank you all for your time. And if you have any questions, further questions, please send it to the challenge organization
Uh, we need to thank Engineer Muhammad Amr for this useful session. Um, we need to focus more on the session's topic. All questions we have about the challenge, uh, we will answer all of them by the end of the day. Uh, uh, so 5 minutes, we will start the next session. Will be about the game development, uh, the game design by engineer Muhammad Salama. So 5 minutes, we will start our session. We can start the next session, the intro to the game design with engineer Muhammad Salama.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad. Let me start the presentation from my end. Let me share the screen.
Okay.
So you can see my screen right now.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So my name is Muhammad Salama. I used to be actually part of Unity team for the last 1.5 years, and today we'll have this type of discussion around the game design, how the game is or gamification in general, how it's happening. Honestly speaking, I was attending the last call with Engineer Muhammad. He's looking into the design thinking and the methodology, and I was hearing your voice and questions. And apparently, I decided to change the whole thing. Yeah, just to cater a new request. And I would assume as well, let's have more space for your questions. The moment that I can answer or add some value eventually to your presentations tomorrow. So let me start with this. In general, what's the game development cycle? That's the general information. Maybe it will be a bit of a lot of information that you need to digest in a smaller time. And that's why I changed the things. I will show you the whole things just to understand the perspective, but we'll not deep dive on them. Yeah. So let's focus on the key things, how we can develop a successful challenge or app for the competition that we have on the coming days. So what we have, so part of this, any game development, any product development, you need to have a planning time. So you need to understand the end of mind and how you are targeting to reach to the end user or the consumer, and how you can add value to the market with all the competition that we have these days. Part of that planning, you need to have a concept of a prototype, which is mandatory as well to able to visualize what you are looking for. Ideas usually is nice. People can go dreamy with it. But the moment that you're trying to do the prototype, you start to figure out the limitation or some of the limitations of moving forward with this type of idea. Hence, having a prototype is mandatory as part of the validation process for this. The moment that you have prototype up and running, you feel comfortable with the concept and the idea, you go on the phase of the pre-production. So the way that we call it a pre-production phase, which is a lot of heavy study on the technology, a lot, and also the operation, the business model, the financing behind it, and the resources behind it as well. Between the pre-production and the prototype, you can see this type of circle. You have to iterate multiple times. And again, the purpose of the reiteration that the moment that you are looking to go into production, you need to make sure this idea is doable and possible to achieve on the short term. Sorry. The moment that you finish the pre-production, you need to start development. And then the development is the resources where you have the coding team and you start to implement your idea in a way or another, building the whole concept into engagement. Once we have the developed or the early developed game or product as well, still valid, we have the quality assurance team where we're trying to make sure there is no issues or buggies or bugs or any challenges with that production. And again, you can see this type of small iteration between the development and the quality assurance, because the moment that you do your quality checks and making sure there is no issues, no security things, no bugs, no crashes, no nothing, you end up the development and you start to move forward to the next step. The app is ready, the game is ready. There is a bit of a process when it comes to certifications and the submission process. It's not an easy task. So, for example, the app stores of the Apple or Google, if you need to have that on Xbox, for example, the Microsoft Xbox or the Sony PlayStation or the Meta Oculus, for example, for the VR and XR experiences, there is a process and certification that process as well that you need to go through. It is a bit of heavy lifting as well. So it's not just like getting the game or the file of the developed material and then push it forward and it's already there to the consumer. There is a bit of certification and submission process. You need to make sure that you have the documentations behind it. I can always take the questions on the fly, yeah? So Rashid, if you can have a question, please.
Sir, does this have to be a scratch game?
I'm sorry again?
Does this have to be a game that's made on Scratch, or can it be, coded and then published?
So it can be coded, it can be made in any tool, but the moment that you need to publish the app or having in a publisher store where the people can download and engage either free or paid, you need to do the certification and the submission process. Why? Because not all the game is suitable for example, for the age group. Yeah. So there is some sort of rating. Is it available for kids? Is it available for 8 years old, 7 years old, 15 years old, and or even 18 years old? Yeah. So there is a lot of certifications and process that you need to have before submitting the game to the consumer or the end users. And this is again part of the journey that you need to do within the game development cycle. So the moment that you have the app ready, you can start to do the release stage. This is where you can dump immediately to the market. One of the strategy that you start to push your product or game to the market is using the beta, not like the final stage, rather than reaching out to the selected user base and try to test and validate this app or this game is fun, is nice, is enjoyable. People can start to engage with these type of experiences before having the full launch of the game. Yazan, please.
Yes, so I have a question for the actual like presentation on Sunday. So you can answer can you like answer stuff for that, or does it have to be at the end?
So if it is related to the technicality and logistics, I can't. If there's something related to the game development, I can answer. Shoot the question and I can tell you.
Okay, so we're for the competition, are we making a scratch game or what? A scratch game, right?
Yeah, so again, so if it is related, very related to the competition, I would ask Mr. Muhammad Fahmi, Engineer Muhammad Fahmi, to give you an answer for this.
When
But
can I
usually,
ask him?
so let's have it after that presentation. I think there will be dedicated Q&A session, and then we can answer all these questions for you.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. No worries. And yeah, okay, so one more question, please. Harish.
Yes. About the game development cycle, if we're doing any like if there's a Python code or developing a game except for any other scratch, like is there anything about information about that too?
So Scratch, again, that's the tool that you are looking for to develop your own game or your own product.
Yeah.
So in this presentation, and that's why I'm telling you on the slide, this is more of a full development of a game. You can consider this as a general knowledge. It's not very specific for the NASA challenge app, just to give you that perspective, right? So this
Yeah.
is the thing that you need to consider potentially on the future if you need to continue development that concept or that game that you have right now. Why we are trying
Yeah.
to explain this? Because simply when you have the time to pitch the game or the idea in front of the judge, eventually they will ask you for these type of questions, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
did you manage, for example, to have a strategy to launch the app? Are you ready for the development? We will have that
Mm.
discussion right now about the live ops. Live ops, it means the moment that you have the game published and ready, what type of the technology and the tool that you still engaging the consumer. Like multiplayer game, for example, you need to have a leadership board, for example. It's not just a game that have been released to the market and then you go home and you leave it without any supervision or without any engagement activities. So that's why I'm trying to explain on the game development cycle what you are expecting or what the judge, for example, are expecting to hear or to listen as part of the idea that you have. Yeah, one more question, please, Jifang.
Like my question is, do we use this development cycle to like make a website and stuff?
Yeah, so it is still applicable to the website development as well. It is more of product development in a way or another. Maybe the
Because
certification sub.
like for the NASA challenge, my main task is to create a website which displays objects near Earth. So like we can use this like cycle, or like is it a whole different cycle for the web?
Yeah, so it is very similar to the web development cycle as well. There is a bit of complexity here when it comes to the game development. I will tap on this very shortly, but it's very similar again from general perspective. All this building blocks, it's almost similar to any web or product development, including game development as well.
Okay, thanks.
Most welcome. One more question. Chanvir, I think you need to get the permission to talk.
Sir, does
Open
all
mic.
the teams have to do like uh the apps or no?
So it depends on the challenge. I will park that question till the end of that presentation once we have the Q&A with Mr. Fahmi. It depends on how you are joining the competition of the NASA Space App.
Sir, so what if we want to create a game, but we can create a game in a game? So then, like,
Meaning,
there's a game built, and there are like millions of games, and we can make more games in it. So can we like make a game in that?
yeah, so the whole concept of mini games or games and game or games in a game, that's also a possible concept. But the whole notion of the game development is the engagement, right? So people do or develop the game to engage the end users and make sure that they have a very nice and consistent journey. That's something that we'll tap very shortly to explain where we're trying to aim with this type of development cycle.
Okay.
So thank you. So let me continue what we are heading for. So the moment that you launch the game or the product or even the website, you need to make sure that you are maintaining the content, or for the game perspective, you need to make sure the game is still up and running and up to date. The maintenance activities, again, it has this type of cycle with the live ops, because you need to make sure the whole engagement cycle is working. users are happy with your game. For example, if you have a monetization model that's running, you need to make sure as well there is a growth on the monetization cycle. With the maintenance, you need to do some upgrade or update on the go. Every few months, every year, for example, you need to make a bit of development. Yeah, and that's where we have another circle with the development team going back to the Q&A and the submission process and the release stage, that you have more updates in your game and more engaging experience with the end user. And finally, with any product, including games as well, at some point of time, you need to sunset or not cancel rather than ramping down that release because it's become old from technology perspective, and sometimes that you need to look forward as well on the new thing, either to release a complete new series of a game. Yeah, so like for example, Batman series, right? Batman Night, Batman Coming, Batman something. It's like up and down, still the same character, for example, but you completely change the story and completely change the development of that development. So one more question from Amal. Amal, do you have question?
Yes, I have a question that in maintenance, does it mean that we also like create updates in the game, like make new challenges for the users?
Yes, and yes, and that's part of the continuous or continuity of the game or the continuity of your idea. That's
Okay,
in
thank
general,
you.
most welcome, but also the judge on the during the judging time, they will ask you how you are looking to continue or to maintain that concept. So you need to share something related that yes, we are building this, we are adding more content, we are upgrading this experience. There is more challenges, as you mentioned, for example, added every month, every quarter, every year into that idea. Cool.
Okay, thank you.
That's welcome. So Fatima, you raise your hand. I'm not sure that you still have a question or not.
I have a question.
Please.
Does it have to be like a game or information?
So usually information or the normal information flow, let me use the wording a bit boring. Yeah. So, and that's why we do the gamification out of it. So you still share the information in a nice and engaging way. And that's where you added like a treasure hunt, like a challenge, or even like an actual playable game, but still pass the information to the consumer or to the end user.
Okay, so thank you.
Most welcome. So this is usually what's happening with a game development cycle. It's a bit lengthy. Some game actually took year and 2 year or two year and a half to be released. So most of what we call them like AAA game or like the top-notch game that everyone play and they're like the FIFA, Call for Duty and these type of things, it take years to be developed. Minimum of 2 years and up to 5 years, people literally developing a game, moving into all that cycle of this type of development. Again, the idea of game development it meant to engage the end users and make sure that the experience is still enjoyable, still interesting for people to continue play that game more and more within their time. So having said that, there is one of the concepts that I would assume is very interested for you, especially these days, a lot of people talking about immersive experience and how they're trying to build this type of like VR and XR and how to be immersed in different experience. And hence, I was looking to have that introduction. What's the metaverse as a concept and how it can be linked eventually to your your challenge, if you have an idea that you need to pitch, and also how it's related to the game development in general. I will not jump into details, but historically, there is a lot of concepts that we call it as metaverse, the Roblox, the Minecraft, the Fortnite. I think this is a very known names with you. They are considered a metaverse. It is some space, some horizon, some digital space where users are immersed and they do a lot of engagement within that environment. It is livable. You can make friends, you can engage, you build stuff, and goes on. So metaverse, it's more of emerging experience or emerging technologies looking for that development. The difference between what what I trying to explain is in the past, the way that game was developed, called like, for example, game as a box. It's just like a CD or a hard disk, for example, or data file, and that's it. And then it has been evolved from to game as a service, and then game as a platform. Game as a platform, it is a space, for example, like Minecraft. That's a game, yeah. In a concept, you go in as a user and you start to build your own house or your own farm or your own village or even your own city. So Minecraft become platform for users to build things, to keep building and having this type of digital assets in a way or another. So this type of concept of evolving from the normal game development where it's like one box and that's it into game as a platform. So that's also one of the concepts that you need to make sure, like for example, that game that has many games inside, yeah, and then it become a platform instead of only just a single game in another. Gamers, which is the consumer side of the story in the past, was very niche, was very selected geeky guys who or ladies who just play around with the digital games. These days, everyone is a gamer with the social presence everywhere. So even the Facebook, the Snapchat, and all TikTok and all these type of platforms, they start to digest the concept of gamification and let every user become a gamer. So you have a challenge daily, you have your own avatar, you have your own ranking, you have your own followers, and you need to increase your followers and goes on. So it become a game experience with the social audience and the social presence beyond the casual user. The way as well the content itself has been developed in the past is via the creator or the developers is like a one-man show or someone who only just create that thing. Now with these days, everyone providing its own input. Again, a clear example like the Minecraft, like I was saying, you can build a whole village or a whole city, for example, in Minecraft, and invite your friend to jump in. Your friend is not using Minecraft as a gaming tool rather than visiting your own community or your own digital asset space within the Minecraft or what we call it within the metaverse and become different experience where Minecraft guys they don't develop any content and let the user generate their own content. And user generated content, UGC, that's also a very important concept when it comes to gamification. And that's also, if I need to give you that hint, it will be great to pitch that concept during the NASA Space app. Like you are building the platform. This platform has a social element where people are engaging. And also, I will avail the user capability to build their own content or their own challenges or their own ideas within my development. I have questions here, please. Harshit? Still have a question? Not able to hear you.
Yeah, I was
Please.
muted, that's why I couldn't think of
No
it.
worries.
Yeah. Could you give any tips for the scratch example? We're doing any game since you have worked in the Unity already. Could you give us any tips about the metaverse? Or
Yeah. So yes. So the Scratch again, it is. Let me use a concept. It's a basic tool. Will not elevate your experience to the metaverse as we say it or as we trying to speak right now. What I'm trying to do in that slide, just that's why I told you earlier that I changed the whole concept. I'm trying to simplify some concept. The moment that you have the chance to pitch your idea on the judge, you will be aware of what you are looking forward. I know it's a very short time to develop like a massive game or even a metaverse as a concept, but you need to have this type of idea where it can help you to move forward with your thoughts or your game, for example, in the future. And hence, you, part of the planning or part of the pitch, you're trying to explain that, yes, I know this is happening in the next step as part of my idea evolution, and I'm doing this and this and that. Like for example, I'm building the game as a platform. Yeah, that's a state. How? When you're trying to explain, or I have a social elements within that game, and also trying to explain. Or for example, I'm building some user-generated content tools within my idea. Yeah. So users are engaged. It will have a continuous improvement from the user perspective and goes on. Yeah. So I'm trying to explain here how you're trying to pitch your idea. Potentially you will win it in a way or another if you manage to continue development the idea. Cool. So let me run a bit faster. So because I'm trying to have a lot of content here. So yeah, Amal, if you need to have quick question, I'm here to help. Amal?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
How do we know that the audience will actually like the game?
Very good question. That's what we had earlier about the prototype and trying to validate the idea that you have. You need to make sure that there is no 100% likeliness of the game. Some people will like it, they will love it, and some people will hate it or they don't like it. Yeah. So what you're trying to do is you need to make sure your target segment, your user base, your customers, or the ones that you are looking to pitch, they like that concept or this idea in a way or another. And how to validate this is using the prototype. With the prototype, you put the idea into a smaller development so you can experience or let the users experience that concept. And hence you start to develop your own idea moving forward.
Okay.
So welcome, Rashid. You have a question?
Sir, you see all of these popular games, like all of these popular ones, all of them have paid developers so that they can build these. How are we ourselves supposed to make games like these or games similar if we don't have anybody to help us or guide us through this without getting a paid mentor or getting a paid developer?
True, I hear you. And I told you it takes a lot of time, resources, money as well, budgets as well allocated to be developed. And this is not the purpose, by the way, of that challenge. We are not looking to have like Fortnite, for example, by end of that challenge. This is not the purpose. The purpose of that challenge is to find an innovative idea, brand new, that no one able to think about it and try to pitch it to the judge and to the NASA space team. Yeah. So that's the purpose of that challenge. That's a hackathon. It's few hours, few days. It's not like 2, 3 years of development. So it's not mandatory to to invest your time and effort, and as you mentioned, get the paid developers. It's hectic, right? What we are looking for is trying to prove that your idea is worth to be elevated or to be pitched to the NASA space team. And also, if we have, for example, funds or support on the future, are you ready? Like Rashid, are you ready if I have 10,000 USD, 100,000 USD in your pocket to develop this idea forward? And this is where the challenge that we are looking for with an asset based app. Yeah. So from metaverse perspective, it has the social element and the gaming element. And just more stop like here. One more question, Steve. Stefan?
Like how long how long does it take to make a average website?
So the website usually takes either with the web builders, for example, like I don't know, like 1 or 2 hours. If you have a bit of experience and a nice AI driven website builder, or it can take years of development. It depends
Like
on the
for example, we have to submit our project on 5th and 6th. We when we start making it today or tomorrow, can we finish it in like 2 or 3 days? A website?
Yes, you can. And that's what I'm telling you. There is a lot of AI, artificial intelligence, Gen AI tools. Even ChatGPT can do it for you if you know how to play around with the command to build that website. Then you need to do some customization and put your idea behind it. Web builders or website builders is available. There is a lot of them are available for free where it can help you to prototype. Yeah, so that's the concept. So
So like
I'm just
so my team already has a plan. Like one of my friends, he's making the main website. I'm putting the details. So like if we merge it all together, it'll be finished if we do it in a proper way in 2 days, right?
yes, yes. You can have nice looking website as you mentioned. It shows the good content or expecting what type of content that you are looking to be there on the website.
Okay, thanks.
Most welcome. So we have more questions from Rashid as well. Rashid, please.
Sir, what's it called? I know I still didn't finish all my questions, but this is like one just question is that my dad works with apps and he creates applications and stuff. And from what I know is that you need servers and you need for graphics and you need a lot of stuff so you can run like stuff with information in it with the code and stuff like that. How are we supposed to fit all of this into one game, like with free of charge if we want to make it an actual good game and publish it? Because you see all of these games, they all have servers that store the information for them, multiple huge servers, okay? How are we supposed to create those servers? And also for the websites, also you need hosting websites. You need to host the websites like Shopify and stuff like that. You can host your brands and stuff. Those are also, I'm pretty sure, you can't find free charge, or you can only find some for like a limited time.
Yes. So if you are aiming to develop a full experience of a game, this is extremely valid, right? So the advice from the dad is there. And yes, it's complex. It needs server, it needs development resources, art, creative, 3D animators. There is a lot of effort that you need to have. What I'm trying to explain here, this is not mandatory for this short term. What you're trying to achieve on the couple of days, how you can have an idea with a good concept and try to sketch it out, to validate it out, even to draw it on paper, if this is your capability, just to make sure that you are expressing the idea that you are looking for. Everyone are also from the judge and the NASA space team, they understand the limitation of the time, the limitation of the resources. Again, Guys, no one is expecting to have a fortnight in 3 or 4 days or even 5 days. Just just cool down, yeah? You need to think on the idea itself, how innovative it is, and try to have a very basic prototype, early sketches, something to explain what you are looking to achieve with that concept or that idea. So we have more questions from Shanver. I think we missed in the first time. Shanver,
Yeah, I have a question. So, as you showed us that we can make games, but then you showed us example of Roblox. So, can we make a game in Roblox? Because there's a thing called Roblox Studio, so we can make a game in Roblox Studio.
yeah, cool. So that's a nice concept as well. For example, if you think like I can use Roblox or Minecraft as a tool of development for you, this is an easy thing that you can develop very quickly. Takes few hours to build that concept on the Minecraft, either to have a screenshot or recording for this one, and you are good to go with your idea validation. Yeah, so yes, you can do this type of out of the box thinking, use existing platforms or existing metaverses, for example, build your own experience within it. One more question from Muhammad. Muhammad,
Yes, so my question is, like you mentioned, we can make a game on any website. Can you give me some advice for like what I can use to make a game? What tools? Like what websites?
yeah, so there is a lot of tools that you can develop, and it depends on your experience. Yeah, so for example, most of the games or most of the like a top-notch game is developed on Unity and Unreal as a tool engine. But learning the tool itself will give you a bit of time to educate yourself how to develop in Unity, how to develop in other engines. With this short
Okay.
time, yeah, with this short time, again, I would suggest and highly recommend focus on the knowledge that you have. So again, for example, if you find a Minecraft is an easy tool or Roblox is an easy tool to ideate or put your idea into perspective, use it immediately. If you can use paper and pen to explain your idea, fair and square, just use it immediately and goes on. Fatima,
How many minutes do we have for the presentation?
that's a very logistical question. Allow Mr. Muhammad Fahmi to answer that question by end of this call. So that few minutes. It's not that much.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Yazan,
Yes, sir. Wait, can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, I just wanted to say, how you're talking about like other games and like so when we're like on the website for the competition, it says like you have to make it about nature, like space exploration. Can we make it about like a game we want to make, like just any game, or does it have to be the topic that they give us?
It should be the topic that it gives you how to achieve. So that's where the ideation and the innovation is heading. But
Oh,
no one is, yeah, but there is no limitation on how you present.
yeah, but the thing is, I don't really know if we're supposed to do about our topic, or like I don't know, because I don't know what topic they gave us. Some like who are we supposed to talk about at the end of the thing for information and stuff?
So can you repeat again?
Who
What's
do
the
we talk to at the end of at the end of the thing, so we can like answer our questions about the actual like competition?
Yeah, the actual competition we have Mr. Muhammad Fahmi. He's part of the NASA Space Challenge in the call. So he will share more details or answer this type of detailed question on the logistics of the competition itself.
Okay, thank you.
Most welcome. So less questions now. Harshi, yes, please. One more question and let's move forward.
Yeah. So about the game, because in the NASA thing, they said that we had to go in groups. So with your team, are you supposed to do it with your team or is it individual?
I don't have an exact answer, but if your own are capable to develop something alone,
Yeah.
sorry?
Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. So if you are alone, can develop something, you can go alone. I would recommend to have your own team. Let's form your own team because it's
Yeah.
already
We already have
short
a
of time.
team, but yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you. So let me continue to share the information. So what's the real-time 3D technology? This is type of the technologies that is being emerged these days. So how we are people moving from content built on 2D, which is the normal website, to eventually that we have right now. People now have a bit of high expectation when it comes to the type of content and type of the experience that they are looking for. And yes, there is a lot of limitations on the tool and a lot of limitations of the capability of the people developing on these tools. What is the real-time 3D? The real-time 3D is a technology that is interactive, so end users can engage with your content, be it website, be it game, be it experience. For example, on the screen, that's the IKEA app. So you choose the chair, you manage using the augmented reality to place it somewhere, and then you play around with that object. So it becomes interactive. Yeah. So one of the technologies as well with the real time is how you do rendering on a real time. Having the real time rendering gives you a better performance for your game or even for your application. As you can see, when you're moving the tree and the sun, the shadow change immediately. You don't need to have a pre-rendered or pre-developed screen. It's not like a movie. It's literally a 3D object with all the rendering capability. And finally, everyone liked 3D, which is part of the immersive experience and all of the nice animations happening behind it. So these are type of the concepts that preferably that we're trying to develop these days. Again, just to set the expectation, I know it is a bit of short time, which is the coming few days. However, try to put this concept or this type of visual to explain your idea that it is interactive, that it looks nice and real time, and it has some sort of 3D element. Yeah. Either with a visual, with a screenshot, or even with a hand sketch. Try to express your idea, even if you don't have the right tool and the right time and the resources to build something 3D or fancy interactive or something. Yeah. Okay. There is a lot of concepts, including the NASA rovers, for example, on the space. So there is a lot of concept using the real-time 3D technology. It's not only the game, movie productions, industry, player experiences, businesses, and goes on. A lot of tools and products these days are using the real-time 3D technology within our space. So back again to the metaverse. What's the keyword of the metaverse? So metaverse is, in a definition, is the evolution of the internet. It's the normal internet that we have these days. But in the future, 3 years, 5 years from now, people will start to consume the internet differently. Yeah. So It's different experience in a way or another. Metaverse by definition is persistent and shared, so you can use the asset or the resources that the digital asset that you develop into other places, accessibility as well from different visuals, from web, from VR, from XR, and goes on. And it is converging of the technology to the new experience and the new immersive experience moving forward. So from development perspective, there is two angles for this type of engagement. Either a consumer focused, like entertainment, movie, games, retail, concerts, and sport and esports arena, for example, or there is an industrial use case for that idea. For example, in our case with the NASA Space app, it depends on the idea. It's either an idea or a concept that help the consumer to understand the experience or to understand certain knowledge or to train themselves into certain information, or you genuinely helping NASA team. I'm just shooting off how they are building their core technology with the simulations, with the robotics, with the factories, and goes on. So there is two skew for the idea that you're trying to explain with this type of metaverse experience. And apparently we have some questions. So Shivang, let's start with Shivang.
Like over here, where it's saying physical and industrials. What do you mean by industrials? I understand physical, like cities, hospitals, factories, and stuff. But isn't factories supposed to be in industrials?
Yes, so manufacturing and robotics is industrial. Yeah, so if you can imagine how you are building a car manufacturer, yeah, so car manufacturer trying to do the shape of the car, putting
Yeah.
the material on it. So
Mm-hmm.
this is can be done on a digital space. This is not a
So,
consumer. Yeah,
so
so this is not.
basically, so which is mostly used, physical or industries?
Yeah, so it depends on on the user case. It's not about uh what's the most used. Yeah, so the most used usually is the consumer, right? If you have an app like Snapchat, for example, Snapchat has its own 3D technology.
Yeah, like you can
Snap
make face edits and stuff.
Exactly. So if you use the term of user or users, for sure the consumer app is winning, right? So they have millions of users in a way or another. However,
Okay, thanks.
when you have a car manufacturing, you have very few car manufacturers in the
And
market.
we also have
How,
a lot of processes.
yes, but the value is on the industry side as well. So
Okay, thank
the
you.
car manufacturer pay a lot for this. Yeah,
Thank you.
most welcome. One more question, Harchi.
Yeah, could you also advise us with some game, like in which website are we supposed to produce the game?
Yeah, so there is no preference, and I'm trying to give you that space. I wouldn't block you from using any tool to develop or validate your idea.
I
And
mean,
again,
like,
setting
are we supposed to use the Roblox studios in Fortnite creating them? What are we supposed to use exactly?
whatever is easier for you. Yeah, let me put that answer. Whatever is easier for you. If you think that the tools, the SCAT or any web builder tool, for example, is not easy for you, it takes a bit of time and education to learn how to use it. Fair square, yeah. So find another tool easy for you to express your idea. That's the purpose. People looking for innovation, trying to figure out where's your idea and how to show it off. Whatever the tool you think it is convenient, just use it out.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Most welcome. So here is the core thing. All the development is around the user. So the moment that you start to develop, the way that you put your idea into perspective and or you plan your own development, you focus on the user. This is the most important things. It is user-centric development. One of the experiences as well with any gaming experience or metaverses is about having the digital twin or the digital you. It is literally a replica or an expression of the existing people into the metaverse, into the digital world. So digital you is something become like avatar, right? So that's something that you need to make sure that have this type of persona or this type of character that is working or is playing around on this virtual environment, whatever the look or the funky that we have. And the link between what we call the digital twin and the metaverse, this is how differentiate between the consumer side of the business and the industry side of the business. So if you develop something for the industry, usually you do the digital twin. Yeah. Digital twin is a concept where you do exact replica of the physical space that you have into the virtual space, like your home. Yeah. So your sofa, your bed is exactly the same look and feel, the same dimension of the physical space. You're just trying to replicate that into the digital space. This is where we call it digital twin. While the metaverse has more of funky fantasies or like visuals, much of something not real. So the dimension may be not that right or that wrong. It becomes up to you how you visual things. So there is link between digital twin and metaverse. Sometimes or some people use the digital twin, which is like a replica of the physical space, as their metaverse environment and build all the applications and games behind. Back again to the concept, you need to find your own persona to have this type of experience. People spend a lot of time to build this type of avatars and how it can do this type of digital human within that space. All styling, all the concepts, how they are playing around. There is also a lot of tools that can help the animation of these objects. Again, I'm trying to explain there is capability that you need to learn in the future, not now, but make sure that in the future you have this type of knowledge, how you can develop this type of characters, for example, or 3D models once you have your idea up and running. So why we are talking about game development in cycle? Because these days it become the creator economy. So you as a creator, you as an innovative person, you generate your own idea, but this idea is supporting the economy because you create new things or you create new experiences for the people. So you need to think into that perspective. How we are doing this type of digital transformation or moving from normal classical problem solving into new idea or new innovation. That's part of the journey that we have right now, for example, with the NASA space app. One of the concepts is how we are moving the web from the 2D into 3D. That's a concept, right? So moving from the normal screens or website, the normal flat website, into nice looking 3D objects or game environment or metaverse environment, trying to enrich or to immerse people within the experiences. Some people as well looking into different tools. Maybe in the future, you can have people wearing these type of Google or this type of VR headsets or MR or mixed reality headsets and moving on the street at some point of time. You never know, right? So this is also another hardware that you need to be ready with your innovation. And having said that, the Web3 is a bit of gaming evolution of 2D to 3D. So a lot of people hear about Web3 and Metaverse. This is in a simple format. It becomes the next gaming experiences that is developed from the 2D to 3D experience. So I will not jump into a lot of details, but I'm telling you, Metaverse ecosystem is a bit of complex. You shouldn't spend a lot of time and energy to do it. That's an example of game architecture or technical game architecture. Again, very complex in a way or another, but this is not the purpose of this challenge. This challenge, you need to make sure that you have a starting point. And how you start this, and that's what I'm trying to explain, simple writing or sketches is enough. So you need just to put your idea into perspective. You need to put the idea into prototype, early prototype, something where people can experience or find a way to explain your idea in a way or another. That's the purpose. So in the coming few days, make sure that you have some tool or group of friends or even get help from parents from the extended family as well to express your idea in a better visual way with a lot of immersed experience as much as you can. This is where you start to build this type of momentum. You don't need to go fancy. You just need to start very small. Even again, as I told you, in a simple sketches. As much as you can, trying to immerse and interact, whatever the experience that you are building, make sure that the tools that you are using with either a Google or screen or mobile or web is there that can represent and share your idea with. Make sure that you have this type of questions of I'm focusing onto the industry or I'm just focusing into the consumer side of the business. That's something that you need to figure out and think bigger. And that's the purpose of that presentation, guys. So you need to have a future idea how you are further developing that concept. You need to make sure that that journey is something worth to be judged and when the NASA Space Challenge or reach out to the final of the NASA Space app. So moving from small to big, that's the purpose of that challenge. Yeah. So it is not easy task. So there is a lot of bumps on the way, short of time, I have studies, I don't know that tool, I have that limitation, and goes on. So part of the hackathon, part of the challenge is to challenge yourself as well and try to be persistent and ruthless to execute and also manage to voice out your idea and voice out your innovation out and convince people that's worth listening and worth as well investment in the future. So we are moving forward with that. So thank you very much. Technology is here to help you. That goes without saying. And part of the effort that the team is doing, also the NASA Space App team is doing, is to help you to figure out the new era and the new innovations that we are moving forward with. So thank you very much. And please, if you have any questions, we already almost at the end of the time. There is 2 minutes remaining if you have any questions. All good?
It seems all is good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Muhammad Salama, for this great session about game development. We will have 10 minutes to start the next session, which will be 3D modeling with Engineer Abdul. Sorry. With Engineer Abu Bakr, the co-founder of Tayar. So now we will have 10 minutes break and come back to start our session.
Thank you very much. There is a question from
Thank you.
Omar. If you allow me to take it very quickly, or
Yeah. Yes, sure.
Omar,
Uh, uh, I, I just had a quick question about the game design.
please.
So about the game design, so in your opinion, what do you think that we should do? Have multiple prototypes and this discuss from with me and my team to see which one's the best and present that one.
Yes, so if you have a time to have multiple concepts, as you mentioned, and multiple prototype, go with it because that's part of the validation, right? So you need to validate, is it really nice or not? Is it enjoyable or not? Playable or not? Within your team, even within your community, your friends, your colleague, your family, your parents, you can do this type of testing if it is really nice looking or no, it's ugly, I will not use it. Again, if you have time for this and resources. If not, try to focus to develop something that you are agree on to be ready for the pitch on the coming few days.
Okay, thank you.
It's welcome. Thank you.
We can start the next session and the last one, the 3D modeling with Engineer Abu Bakr. Engineer Abu Bakr, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear.
Yes, we can start now.
You see me?
Yeah,
okay. I logged
can,
into the other computer. Can I share my screen with the other computer?
yes, you can share. You have the access to do that.
All right.
The screen is working good.
It's good. Okay.
Yes.
You hear me good, clear?
Yes, the voice is clear.
Nice. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Abu Bakr Azberi. I'm a mechanical engineer with plus 15 years experience in CAD design. And CAD design, I would say, is my passion. So I love CAD design. I almost use it every other day, using whether creating something, modifying previous designs, and adjusting some designs to fit the new needs, and so on. So I use it also in my work field, not only my personal use. I use it also for my work. I work in a space center, so we'll be creating either different structures for a satellite to create brackets that holds some components, and then modifying some components we received from a manufacturer to accept the new components onto that. So there you can see there is a lot of uses for CAD designs. CAD design, I would say, if I have to go to the beginning of what is CAD design. So CAD design, it means, the little word means computer aided drawing. So it's drawing whether by whether you're drawing a house, or you're drawing an engine, or you're drawing a game controller or a layout. So you're using the computer program to help you draw. And there's different softwares for different applications of drawing. For example, if you really wanted to draw a house, so one common software is being used to draw a house, for example, is the AutoCAD. AutoCAD is a paid software. However, it's widely used to be able to draw layout for houses. Also, there is SketchUp, for example. It's kind of new. It's been in the market for a while. However, it's a new software for drawing house layouts mostly, and architectural drawings. So people first will start drawing in 2Ds, then will be transferred into 3Ds to create this drawing for the houses and so on. Also, CAD drawing can be used for more component level of things. For example, car engine, car gearboxes, different components. So almost all the components of the car usually will be first drawn in the computer, then it will be manufactured, which will make it easy to manufacture the drawings. So some examples of softwares that are most popular softwares, 3D modeling softwares. We have, for example, SolidWorks. SolidWorks is it's a French company. It's very widely used software for 3D modeling. It's very easy to use. It's intuitive, and you use in different industry, whether it is manufacturing industry, aerospace industry, space industry, and almost all the engineering industry will be using this SolidWorks. And the same thing will go the Siemens. It's also very common. The added feature of Siemens will be doing simulation. So once you do the drawing of the component, you can actually simulate different forces on these components. You can simulate some winds. You can simulate some forces on this. You can simulate the heat transfer into the components. and so on in the model you created. You don't have to bring it to reality, make these things, then test it. So you can actually do it in this CAD software usually. So it help you in drawing, and then actually later on testing the drawing you did. Also, you have Fusion 360, which I would recommend if you want to start into drawing. It's the simplest software. However, it encompasses the basics of CAD drawings for all of these other softwares. It's actually it's an engineering-oriented software. So most of these softwares are engineering-oriented. If you are an engineer and you would like to create engineering solving with the precise drawings, it give you an accuracy and efficiency in your drawings. So it will be faster in your drawing, much more accurate with very small tolerances can work on. Yes. Also, we have Tinkercad. It's also a free software. So Autodesk Fusion 360 is the limited free use. It's for personal use. You can use it. It's a limited feature. There is also the paid version where you can have more. I'm not paid from any of these softwares, so I'm just talking, being here agnostic regarding the softwares. You can use whatever you like. I'm just giving you an overview of these softwares. Also, we have, as mentioned, Tinkercad. Tinkercad is much more simpler and quicker software to use. It's available online. You can use it even if your computer is not powerful. You can use this Tinkercad software. Also, this, as I mentioned, I didn't mention this, but your computer you have to have a bit higher specs for computer to be able to use these softwares, most of these softwares, especially if you are running it in your computer. You have to have at least 8 GB of RAM, an IE 5 or above processor, and the most important thing is the graphic card reader. The graphic card of the computer, which is that displays the 3D images that you have modeled in your computer. So here I'll go into a little bit of the interfaces of the different softwares. For example, this is I'll tell you the differences, but you will see that almost all the softwares, they look the same. They feel the same, but just small differences because these different companies, they created their own, they created for other people to use. So for example, here is SolidWorks. You can see my cursor here. So for example, here is the toolbar for different tools to be used, whether to extrude the face, to extrude the face, rotate, cut, revolve a component around itself, and so on. Similarly, here is the Siemens NX. Here is drawing electrical circuits. So representing this electrical circuit from electrical drawing to an actual component and so on. We can use Siemens for this. And it's the same thing. You have the model in the middle. Then the top area, you have the toolbar where you can use different tools. And the left, you have the navigation panel where you can navigate to different parts in the model. For example, the heat sinks, the capacitors, there's the different components on the, for example, this board. Here, as mentioned, NX, Siemens NX has some simulations. So here, doing some simulation of components. For example, this component could be holding the engine or could be holding a camera. And you want to see, will this component handle these forces and will it be able to stand the forces to be applied on it and so on. Lastly, here is the Fusion 360. It's an online also software. So there is an online version and there is an offline version. This is the online version where you can draw the components and same thing. It has different, like number 3, for example, this is the same thing, the toolbar. In the middle, number 5 is the drawing area where you can see your model, where you draw your things. And number 7 is a property panel where it shows you extra property for one, and you click on the component or something. Number 6 on the right top here, this is what's called the navigation panel. Guys, if you have any questions in the middle, don't worry, don't feel shy to ask any questions. You can stop me any moment and have a question. All right. on the top right, or number 6 here, where you can see different faces of the component. It give you, like, you can see the front face, the back face of this component, the top face, and you can rotate the component around these axes. And number 4 here, it is the navigation panel, where you can see different components by themselves. All right. Next slide here. So you can draw some components, and you can also have, there is some components online available. For example, you're not gonna draw a wheel. You can just, the example where they say, don't reinvent the wheel. I would say it's the same thing. Some things are already available on the net, so you don't have to redraw it or redesign it. You can, whether it's free online, or it can be a paid model, or you can actually hire people to draw this component for you. I'll move to Tinkercad now, to the web page, so you can have an example of how a web page looks and actually create some models in there. You can have a view there. All right. Yeah. So that's all right. So here's the website. This is the Tinkercad. Once you log in, you can, okay, well, you can log in. I'll just use a personal account, my Google account. All right. So you can hear, for example, this software has different sections in it. We have the 3D designs. You can create the circuits. You can create the code blocks and so on. So we go with the simple create design. I want to get you guys a feel of how simple it is to use, and so on. All right. So as we have mentioned the area, so this is the drawing area. And here we can add the different components with a different building block for this design. We have a box here, we have a cylinder, circle, and so on components. We can add different decks. So we can, for example, drag a component, pull it and drag it, so creating a box here. Change the colors, whatever colors we like. Then we can, for example, add a roof. So, for example, here you create like a simple house. So you can see the more you spend time on it, the more you can add details into this model, and so on. So you can see here we have different components you can add. That you can modify the component, each component, whether you can add digraphing or entering different values for the component size, and so on, if you want to be more accurate. So this is the benefit of this software, that you can have it online, anywhere you can use it, and you can modify your drawing or improve your drawing and so on. Now I'll move to SolidWorks, which I use the most for modeling, which will show you, for example, a component we are currently working on and how it's been improving and what we can do with the CAD software. All right. All right. For example, this is a CubeSat, one new cube satellite. And as this one looks complicated, however, it started from simply from just the structure of a drawing of the structure. It started from a 2D drawing, then moved to the 3D drawing. If I showed you here, this is the components navigation panel, or the navigation panel. I can see all the components in here. I will hide some components here so we can have a better visual of other components. All right, so this is the structure of the satellite. You can see the structure here, very simple structure. The benefit of also using a CAD here is you can do the assembly. So once you draw a component, for example, this single component will have up here, you can isolate it by itself. So this is one component. So you draw one component, then you can assemble it with different components for building your structure or your assembly of the full configuration, the full components. All right, so let me show you the other components here. I'll start a new drawing just to show you how easy it is just to create the components here. All right, for example, go to the top plane, we'll start a sketch, we'll create for example, a cylinder. So we'll choose the circle tool. So here's the tool bars. Select the circle tool. We'll create a circle. We'll give the circle dimension. So we can select the dimension tool. Give this one, for example, 50. We have created a circle. So we'll exit now this sketch. Now we'll add a feature to this sketch, which is be extruding components. We can specifically give, for example, 50 millimeter extrusion. We have created here a cylinder. So you can see how we can build more components depending on the sketch you are drawing. You can build the components one by one and so on. I'll open the question for you guys if you guys have any questions or if you want to have specific things to ask about. Give me a second. Oops. Okay. Okay, can I transfer to the slides? All right. As we have seen, we can, from the CAD design, the CAD, we can, like the different uses for the CAD and different softwares you can use and how to draw things is actually simple. However, this still needs to be honed with time. So you'll have to spend some time drawing and learning, and you actually can get certified in to be able to draw for whether it's for work or for your personal things. Lastly, can I click on the page here?
Sir, I have a question.
Sure. Yes, go ahead.
Sir?
Yes?
Sir, should it, the 3D modeling that we are doing, right? Should it be FBX, STL, OBJ, 3ds, GITF, SGEP? Like what type of format do we save it in?
Sure. So depending on the software you use, there are some standard extensions of format. Also, it's called format of the files. For example, SolidWorks saves its own the format. It's called part file or assembly file. Then you have NX. It serves in step file or it's parts the different extension. And each software usually have different extensions. However, if you want to stay universal when regarding this one, this software. So a step file, for example, is the most common. I would say step format. It's the most common used for engineering drawings and so on because it retains the parametrics of the drawing itself. And if you want to share it, it's preferably sharing between the same similar software, which will keep all the features of the drawing itself. Yes. I hope that answered your questions, or you had a specific thing in your mind.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so when we will present our project and we should, like, we have a model presented in real life, do we have to present the 3D model on the device that we will share with?
I didn't get you. Can say it again? Do we have?
If we have a model presented in real life,
Mm-hmm.
so should we show the judges the 3D model we did in the device?
Okay, so usually the 3D models is not necessary. However, it will give you an edge. Okay, once you do the 3D model, you can modify it, you can adjust it, and I think it depends on whether it's a requirement. I think so space apps they can answer you this best, can answer the question best whether it's a requirement to present the CAD model. How big? I think it's a plus to have it there and make it look nice. Right. Okay. The slides froze a little bit. I'm trying to fix that. Can you see the slides?
No, it's not working.
Let me drop it again. All right, I think I cut it short here. I believe that's all. I hope I have got good time in designing your kinds of models. All right. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
So basically, when we are making a website, can we use these like 3D models, whichever you just want, like in Tinkercad, you showed that you can make an engine, a house. Can we use that to put it in our website?
Yes, you can actually. So some websites have integrated the 3D viewer where you can show your CAD models in there. So you have to make sure that you are saving the viewer, the plugin or the API you're using to plug to your website uses the same format. For example, whether it's a step file.
So like basically we are making a Orary web which displays objects which are close to Earth. Can we put like in we can make a 3D object which are close to Earth, like for example an asteroid. We can make it in Tinkercad and put it in our website.
Yes, you can actually create that. For example, you can create it, I would say, in Tinkercad, or you can have a ready-made model for asteroids. For example, the website I put to GrabCAD or 3D Warehouse. These websites where you can have a ready-made model of an asteroid, and then upload this model there. And just have to make sure that the use is a public license model. You can use it for personal use or educational use. So you
Okay,
can put it on the website. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, we cannot hear you.
Engineer Abu Bakr have an internet issue, so he will join us once more
And it will
after
end at
solving the
8.
issue.
This will end at 8:10, right?
What?
What time will this end?
Um, about half an hour, we will end this session.
So 8:10.
8 o'clock.
Oh, so we will finish at 8?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Tell Abu Bakr join us once more. You, you can add all the questions you need about the challenge in the chat box, and I will answer it. Can now use the chat to send your questions. If you have any question about the challenge or what the process for the next days, you can add them all in the chat. I will answer them all. We have a question from Muhammad. You need to start working on your project in the 2 days for the hackathon. Before that time, Omar, all details about the in-person or virtual judging, we will share it with you as soon as possible, so you will know will present in person or virtual. All details in on-site or virtual judging or hackathon, we will share it with you shortly. If the hackathon will be virtual, so you can make your code in your home and present in your home in the virtual judging. Uh, if the hackathon will be in person or offline hackathon, you will need to work and make your code offline during the hackathon, physical hackathon, and you will also present in person to the judges. If you have person and virtual mode, no, it is not necessary to present in person. If you have the two options, you can join virtual or, uh, or in person. All of these details will be shared with you through email shortly about the next day's hackathon, if it will be virtual or you need to join us in person. No, it will be a Wi-Fi for the challenge to make your solution. I have a virtual, but I wanted to show on site. Is it okay? Yes, okay, no problem for that. Good. Yes, if we have an offline or in-person challenge, hackathon, the students should attend the 2 days for the hackathon. What is the time? The time can working on your all details of the hackathon, offline hackathon or virtual hackathon, will share with you shortly in the next 2 days. It seems. Yes. Uh, the submission is 2 days. I don't understand. You have uh, you have 2 days to submit your project. So anytime during the 2 days, you can submit your project. If we have uh, an offline event or hackathon, you need to attend the 2 days offline, and by the end and working and make your code offline during the 2 days, not before that time. Any any project or idea uh, made before the 2 days, this is not will be accepted to go to the judge. Yes, regarding the buses and the school, we will share with you all details about the hackathon if will be offline to prepare all your needs and get all permission. All students or all participants need to work in their project during the 2 days of the hackathon. It will be offline or online. Will be shared with you shortly during the next days. Yes, we will have a meeting tomorrow. Our bootcamp consists of 2 days. We have another day tomorrow with another topics and more speakers. Uh, okay, I will send all details regarding the hackathon as soon as possible. Muhammad, if you the hackathon will be offline, yes, you need to do your code offline or during the physical hackathon and present it offline during the hackathon. Uh, Mainly NASA Space Apps hackathon will be 5 and 6 October. If there is any edits in dates, we will share it with you shortly. All regarding the time slots and the project criteria, you can find the project criteria through NASA Space Apps website. Regarding the time slots, we are working on on the time slots for all teams. All teams will have the same time slot. If project need more time, is it not applicable to have more time than the declared time slot for all teams? There is no extra time for teams or for presentation. All teams have the same time to present. What are the categories that the judges will choose the winners? You can find the judging criteria through the website of NASA Space Apps. All timing and all details regarding the hackathon we will be shared shortly with you. Should we have a technical background to provide a solution? No. We have a 21 challenge. You can join any of them. You can find many of the challenges with different background, not a technical, not only a technical background. Can find different challenges. Can join which one you, which one suitable for you. All teams will, but okay, if I go first day and make code and present same day, should I go again in the second day? All teams should attend 2 days. Uh, if you finished your coding first, you should second day. Uh, should you will should we include the coding type of project? You need to have this with you if judges need to see the coding prototype will as a present of the applicable. Um, the winners will go through the next round, which will be nominated to the international hackathon. You will need to submit one time. Don't need to submit every day. You submit your project when it's done on your side. You will not present it in the first day. All teams have the same day to present. All teams have the same day to present. No, anyone end or finished his project, he will present it. Note that all teams have the same time and the date uh, to present their project. You need to do. You have uh, to submit it on 2 days. You will need to work your in 2 days after by the end of or by the end of the second day. You will need to submit your project only once time. Not every day you will need to submit your project. We are done for for today. I'm waiting for you tomorrow with the second day for the bootcamp. Thank you all for joining us. See you tomorrow.
Thank, thank you so much, sir.
يلا.